Kids' bedtime stories, Charlie, Lucy, and the Kitten Adventure. Once upon a time, in a cozy little house with a white picket fence, there lived a friendly dog named Charlie and a curious cat named Lucy. Charlie and Lucy had been living together for a long time, and although they had very different personalities, they were the best of friends. Charlie was a big, bouncy dog who loved to run around and play fetch. Lucy, on the other hand, was a quiet and reserved cat who preferred to curl up in a warm spot and watch the world go by. Despite their differences, they spent their days exploring the house, chasing each other, and snuggling up together for long naps. One day, when the sun was shining and the birds were singing, Charlie and Lucy decided to go on an adventure. They set off down the street, with Charlie bounding ahead and Lucy following close behind. They wandered through the neighborhood, sniffing the flowers and chasing after butterflies. As they were wandering, they heard a small meowing coming from behind a fence. Lucy's curiosity got the better of her, and she trotted over to investigate. Behind the fence, they saw a tiny kitten who was crying and looking very scared. Lucy and Charlie knew they had to help. Charlie wagged his tail and barked happily, while Lucy purred soothingly to the kitten. Together, they managed to coax the kitten out from behind the fence and onto the street. The kitten was grateful for their help, and she started to follow them as they continued on their adventure. The trio soon came across a park, and they scampered across the grass and played in the sunshine. Charlie and Lucy watched as the kitten chased after a ball of yarn, batting it around with her tiny paws. They all laughed and had a wonderful time together. As the sun started to set, Charlie and Lucy realized it was time to head back home. They had had a fantastic adventure with their new kitten friend, but they knew they couldn't keep her. They walked her back to where they had found her and left her with a kind family who promised to take care of her. Charlie and Lucy walked back to their house, feeling happy and content. They knew that their adventure with the kitten had brought them closer together and that their friendship was stronger than ever. From that day on, Charlie and Lucy continued to explore the world together, knowing that no matter what adventures they went on, they would always be the best of friends. Maya and the Little Bird. Once upon a time, in a magical forest filled with tall trees and shimmering streams, there lived a beautiful bird named Maya. Maya was a bright and colorful bird with feathers of every color of the rainbow. She loved to fly high in the sky, singing beautiful songs as she soared through the trees. One day, as Maya was flying through the forest, she heard a faint tweeting sound coming from the ground below. Curious, she fluttered down to investigate. There, she found a tiny bird, barely a few days old, chirping for help. Maya felt sorry for the little bird, who was all alone in the big forest. She knew she had to help. She gathered some soft leaves and made a cozy nest for the little bird to sleep in. Maya took the little bird under her wing, and they became the best of friends. Together, Maya and the little bird explored the forest. They flew from tree to tree, soaring high above the treetops and dipping down to the streams below. Maya taught the little bird how to fly, and they sang beautiful songs together. As the days went by, the little bird grew stronger and more confident. She learned how to fly higher and faster, and she chirped happily all day long. Maya was proud of her little friend and loved spending time with her. One day, as they were flying together, Maya and the little bird saw a flock of birds flying in the distance. The little bird's eyes widened in wonder, and she asked Maya if they could join them. Maya hesitated for a moment, worried that the little bird would get lost in the big flock. But then she saw the joy and excitement in the little bird's eyes, and she knew she couldn't say no. So, they flew over to the flock and joined in. The little bird chirped happily as she flew with the flock, and Maya smiled proudly at her friend. They flew for hours, soaring through the sky and singing beautiful songs together. When the sun started to set, they said goodbye to the flock and flew back to their cozy little nest in the forest. Maya tucked the little bird into bed, and they cuddled up together for a good night's sleep. Maya knew that her friendship with the little bird was special and that they would always have each other. From that day on, Maya and the little bird continued to explore the forest together, singing beautiful songs and flying through the trees. They knew that no matter where their adventures took them, they would always be the best of friends. The Adventure of the Missing Toy Cars. Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Timmy. Timmy loved collecting things. He had a collection of shiny rocks, colorful marbles, and even some seashells he found on the beach. But his most prized possession was his collection of toy cars. Timmy had a room full of toy cars, from tiny race cars to big, shiny trucks. He loved lining them up and imagining all the adventures they could have together. One day, while playing with his cars, he noticed that one of his favorite cars, a bright red sports car, was missing. Timmy searched high and low for the red sports car, but it was nowhere to be found. He was so sad and couldn't stop thinking about his lost car. He asked his mom and dad to help him look, but they couldn't find it either. Feeling defeated, Timmy went to bed that night with a heavy heart. As he was lying in bed, he heard a faint sound coming from outside his window. He got out of bed and peeked outside, and to his surprise, he saw his missing red sports car driving down the street. Without hesitation, Timmy ran outside and chased after his car. The car turned a corner, and Timmy followed it into an alleyway. There, he saw his red sports car along with all of his other missing toy cars parked in a row. Timmy couldn't believe his eyes. He ran up to his toy cars and hugged them tightly. Suddenly, he heard a little voice coming from behind the cars. It was a tiny toy car, who introduced himself as Racer. Racer explained to Timmy that he and the other missing toy cars had gone on a big adventure while Timmy was sleeping. They had raced through the streets and explored new places, but they had missed Timmy and couldn't wait to come back home. Timmy was overjoyed to hear about his toy cars' adventure and was happy to have them back home. From that day on, he made sure to keep all of his toys safe and never took them for granted again.